What would 12-year-old you never believe about adult you? For almost 9 years. I've worked literally 1 minute away from a huge water park and I've never gone there. That I actually like bees now and want to pursue beekeeping someday. I used to hate all bugs no matter what. But with more research, I realized that bees aren't so bad. Still hate other bugs though. That sometimes, when I'm not paying attention, my mom's words slipped right out of my mouth. That I do math for a living. Fucking math. He'd have been so upset. I actually like exercise and physical activity, it's just PE class that sucked. That I'm almost 40 and still don't have a stable full of horses. That I haven't gotten married. That's something I just assumed would happen and yet here we are and I'm still single. I think he'd also be surprised at how rough my teenage years were. That I've heard a pilot scream "Mayday, Mayday" before ejecting. I'm an air traffic controller. How little I've accomplished. How many emotions were cancelled. I'd still sit down for an all-night session of Dungeons and Dragons. I made it to 21. That I found a girl that buys me Star Wars Lego at Christmas. That I would be answering a hypothetical question about my 12-year-old self on an internet forum. Using my phone. I live in a whole-ass other country and speak another language now. That definitely would have come as a surprise. That I still laugh at the exact same things. He'd be blown away I'm writing professionally now. 12-year-old me would put a beat down on me for dropping out of college and smoking weed every day. 12-year-old me was also probably in better shape and would easily win that fight. How big my tits are. That I learned how to prioritize myself. And I'm not responsible for upholding anybody else's well-being or happiness anymore. We never achieved that swan status. Still an ugly duckling. My penis never grew. That I'm in bed usually by 8:45 every night. To sleep flushed. That I can run 6 entire miles. Run the whole thing. Without stopping once. I still can't believe it sometimes. The human body is amazing. That the only thing preventing me from ending it is my dogs. Then he'd be totally stoked I have dogs. That I'm overweight and I became a suit. That I have a kid taller than me. I'm not tall or anything, just never pictured being shorter than my 13-year-old. That the brother I hated would become my best friend. That he would become a scientist after all. Being a dirt floor poor country kid seemed unsurmountable at the time. Guess what? You're gay. That I made it all 50 states. I know, kind of boring. I'm self-employed. That I still like nerdy stuff. I look like the total opposite of the kind of guy who would. Hey, you know that girl over there you think is really weird? You're going to marry her. That I wanted to kill myself lol. That I would be a firefighter yeah dude you get to ride in the truck. That I'm a virgin in my 30s and live with my parents. That I travel the world for a living. We never got that growth spurt we were promised. That my political and religious views have changed. 18-year-old me would have been just as surprised. Lived with a couple strippers. A couple different times. I did drugs. We got braces at 31-person facepalming light skin tone. That I did, in fact, go on a date with a boy and gasp get married to one. And also that I'm bisexual. I think my 12-year-old self would be more surprised about that first thing. The trauma I survived. I'm still alive, somehow. How many tattoos I have, back then I never thought I'd get any. How much of a disappointing piece of human trash I am. That I'm still alive. 12-year-old me was suicidal depressed. Still am. Hoping I will get better eventually but it's been 23 years and hasn't gotten better yet. That I would become a heroin addict. I got my shit together now. Got close to a year clean. But still man. Strange and dark times. Sorry kiddo. You didn't make it as a pro wrestler. And you realized being a musician wouldn't pay the bills either. That I would ever work up the courage to ask out a girl. And that she would say yes. That I want to go back to being 12 years old again. Also, things don't get better after turning 21 years old. You literally can't do anything you want to do. That all of the things I said I'd always remember and never do as an adult, I've largely forgotten and probably do as an adult. That I would want to kill myself. I'm a lesbo. I can dance! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. What would 12 years old me believe about adult me? I'm in a happy relationship. Probably all the worldly pleasures I've taken part of. 12-year-old me was very religious. That I'm marrying the girl I had a crush on then. She has friends. Good, supportive, long-term friends. That I own an ice cream shop. Exploding head. How much the Star Wars franchise bums me out. Unlike on those occasional days when I'd actually skip school to treat myself to marathons of the film series on our big TV. That I too don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. My younger self would never have believed I would go to university to obtain multiple degrees. I was barely literate in grade 4. A bit of a late bloomer, I guess. That I'm gay. Sugar ain't that great. That all those friends and family don't stick around as you get older. That I'm still single ASF face with rolling eyes. I'm 25 and still haven't bought myself a RC car toy like I promised myself before. I failed college and still bought a house at 22 on my own. That I make my money at a legitimate job in the cannabis industry. That I am currently divorced. The years of self-hatred amount to nothing, so loving yourself is possible. I got hot. 12-year-old me would envy 35-year-old me's accomplishments. That I met Martin Short maybe. That I once baked a loaf of bread for the King and Queen of Spain. That I learned to play the singing saw. That I had a near-death experience and met God. It's okay to be rainbow gay rainbow. I've been to Jim Morrison's grave twice. I didn't even know who he was when I was 12. I'm a rock climbing guide. We have the same hair color. I'm not married with kids yet. How bored 26-year-old me is of video games. Used to play video games for hours after schools and on weekends. Now I try to start a game and I'm like meh. Asterisk I'm a woman asterisk I work in video games and can pay my bills with this job and my mom didn't hate me for it. More for the first thing. She's still single. Help I'm 12 right now. Future me get time travel and send me a message or something please. You're still alive at 30 and your boyfriend will be killed. Life is wild and hurtful but you made it this far. When I was 12 I would have never imagined I'd get pregnant at 14. And have 2 kids at 18. I'm 19 now though but had my second kid at 18. You won't get very many women no matter how handsome you are. The movies lied. I bought my first house with the love of my life, and simultaneously own 14 pet rats. Acknowledge that I'm trans. That I am planning to marry the girl he likes. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.